You go to the bathroom 10, 12 times a day. You wake up at night. Every time you leave the house, the first thing you look is where is the bathroom? And you've been told, do Kegels, drink less water, maybe try medication. But nobody ever asks you what you eat. If this is you, you're watching the right video, because today I'll show you the 7 foods and drinks that are directly stimulating your bladder and what to do instead. Hi, my name is Elisa. I'm a physiotherapist and an osteopath specializing in pelvic floor rehabilitation. This topic is one of the most underestimated piece of overactive bladder puzzle. Let me explain what is actually happening. The bladder wall contains receptor nerve endings that respond to chemical compounds. Certain food and drinks don't just fill the bladder, they stimulate the nerves that control the bladder contraction. The result is a bladder that contracts when it shouldn't, like urgently, without warning. This is not a weakness problem, this is a stimulus problem. And the most direct, most modifiable triggers is what you consume every day. Now, the 7 foods. Number 1, caffeine. This is the most powerful bladder stimulant of them all. Coffee, tea, energy drinks, and yes, also chocolate, especially dark chocolate. Caffeine acts in 2 ways. It's a diuretic, it increases the amount of urine your kidney produce, and it's a direct bladder irritant. It lowers the threshold at which the bladder sends the urgency signal. Most women notice the effect within 30 to 60 minutes of their morning coffee. And the answer is not switching to decaf. Decaf still contains caffeine and many other compounds that irritate the bladder mucosa. If you have an overactive bladder, this is the first thing to remove completely for at least 7 days. Number 2 is alcohol, same double mechanism as caffeine, diuretic and direct irritant. Wine, beer, spirits, all of them. Many women find alcohol one of the most immediate triggers. 1 glass of wine and the urgency appears within the hour. If you are not ready to remove it completely, it starts by removing it on days when you know you need to be at your best. Number 3, carbonated drinks. This one surprises most people. The carbon dioxide in sparkling water and fizzy drinks directly stimulate the bladder wall receptors. And yes, this includes sparkling mineral water, even without caffeine or alcohol. Switch to still water at room temperature. This changes faster than you expect. Number 4, artificial sweeteners. Aspartame, saccharin, sucralose, found in diet drinks, sugar-free products, chewing gums. These are among the most underestimated bladder irritants, precisely because we think they are not harmless for the bladder. If you drink diet sodas, sugar-free energy drinks, or use artificial sweeteners in your coffee, this is a factor. Number 5, citrus fruits and juices like oranges, lemon, grapefruit, pineapple. The citric acid irritates the bladder mucosa directly. Many women with overactive bladder notice an immediate worsening after a glass of orange juice in the morning. And because the orange juice is often combined with the coffee at breakfast, both trigger hits the same time. Number 6, tomatoes and tomatoes-based products like tomato sauce, ketchup, tomato juice. Some mechanisms like high acidity plus specific compounds in tomato that irritate the bladder wall. This is harder because tomatoes are in so many everyday meals. But if you eat pasta with tomato sauce 4 times a week and you have urgency every evening, it is worth looking at it. Number 7, spicy foods like chili, hot peppers, spices. They contain a compound called capsaicin. Capsaicin directly stimulates the nerve endings in the bladder wall, the same receptor that responds to heat. This is not an acidity problem, it's a neurological trigger problem, and the effect can last 4 hours after the meal. Now, how use this information? Do not remove everything at once. If you eliminate all 7 at the same time and you feel better, you will not know what was causing the problem because you cannot have all of them as a trigger. I will start with caffeine, remove it completely for 7 days, and evaluate. If nothing changed, I add the next category, and so on. The tool that makes this process work is a bladder diary. For 7 days, write down what you ate and drank, the time, and how many times you went to the bathroom, at what time. Note any urgency or leakage, and patterns will appear very quickly. Most women identify the many triggers within the first 3 days. There is also one mistake I see constantly, and it makes everything worse. Women with overactive bladder starts drinking less water. Well, the logic seems right, less in, less out. But, and it is a big, huge but, concentrated urine is more irritating to the bladder wall than diluted urine. So when you drink less, your urine becomes more concentrated and the urgency gets worse, not better. Aim for 1.5 to 2 liters of still room temperature water per day if you don't have any pathology or issue that does not allow it. Not sparkling, not cold, not caffeine, still room temperature water. You'll do maybe more urine, but less frequent. And here is what actually helps. Pumpkin seeds or pumpkin seed extract have been studied specifically for bladder control. They contain zinc and omega-3 fatty acid that supports the bladder and the pelvic floor nerves. Magnesium-rich foods like dark leafy greens, nuts, seeds reduces smooth muscle overactivity, including in the bladder. Chamomile tea, like it is mild anti-inflammatory, like no caffeine with a calming effect on the bladder mucosa. Of course, these are not miracle solutions, but combined with removing the triggers, the difference is significant. Now, one last thing, diet is the fastest intervention for an overactive bladder, but it's not the whole picture. An overactive bladder is also a pelvic floor coordination problem. The pelvic floor is what suppresses urgency signals. It's a reflex, and that reflex can be retrained. So the diet removes the fuel. The pelvic floor work removes the fire. That is why the two must work together. If you want to understand where your pelvic floor fits in your specific situation, start with my free guide, self-check, at the link you find in the info box. It's 15 minutes and you have a clear starting point. So let's recap. 7 foods to remove, one at a time. Caffeine, alcohol, carbonated drinks, artificial sweeteners, citrus, tomatoes, spicy foods. Move one at a time and keep a bladder diary. Do not drink less water, drink still water at the right amount. And add pumpkin seed, magnesium and chamomile. And remember, diet removes the trigger, but the pelvic floor is what gives you control. Have you already tried removing one of these foods? Did it make any difference? Write me in the comments. I read and respond to every comment I receive. If this video helped you, please like it and subscribe to the channel, and see you in the next video.